This is the final video number 4, Building Trust and Credibility with PE Firms. Your PE firm just discovered that Q3 EBITDA miss you reported last week was actually predictable based on leading indicators you had 60 days earlier. Trust destroyed. Credibility gone. Relationship damaged. So building trust with PE firms is not about being perfect, it's about being transparent. It's about being proactive, and it's about being reliable. Today I'm showing you exactly how to build an unshakable credibility, where the PE firm is convinced about your ability to present actual results or solid results transparently. Trust is the foundation of successful PE-CFO relationships. Through my analysis as well as working for PE-backed companies, I've identified the specific behaviors and communication patterns that build credibility over time. It's cumulative. And the CFOs who earn the PE firm trust, they get more resources, they get better support, and they get greater autonomy. Those who don't, they actually get micromanaged or they get replaced. So let's talk about this in more detail. Trust with PE firms is built through consistent demonstration of specific behaviors. So let's talk about trust builder number 1. What builds trust? Number 1, radical transparency. Always lead with problems, and not just problems but solutions, not just successes. I need to flag a developing issue. Our largest customer is 45 days past due on $2 million receivable. I have spoken with the CFO and I've learned that they're having cash flow issues. Here is my assessment of collection probability and here are my recommended actions. What this demonstrates? Early problem identification. What this demonstrates? Proactive communication before this issue becomes a serious crisis. What this demonstrates is solution-oriented thinking. It also demonstrates professional relationship management. Let's look at trust builder number 2, predictive analytics. You don't just report what happened, you need to predict, you need to forecast what will happen or what might happen. So an example, a monthly update based on leading indicators, always have that anchored, based on leading indicators, I'm forecasting Q4 EBITDA of $12.5 million, which is $500,000 below plan. The variance is driven by these 3 factors: delayed product launches, higher customer acquisition cost, and seasonal volume patterns. So here's how we can close the 300K of that gap. You see what I did? I just reframed everything. You have been transparent, you have been honest, but you have reframed. Trust builder number 3, intellectual honesty. Admit when you don't know something and commit to finding out. Don't say, I think our churn rate might be improving. I think. Say, I don't have the reliable churn data yet, but I'm implementing tracking systems and will have baseline metrics by month end. That is concrete, you just put an anchor. The PE firms, they are seasoned operators. They respect intellectual honesty over false confidence. Trust builder number 4, consistent delivery. Set the realistic expectations and exceed them consistently. For example, promise the monthly close by day 5, deliver by day 4 consistently. When you can't meet day 4, communicate by day 2 that you won't be able to meet day 4. These small, consistent wins, they kind of build credibility for bigger challenges. Trust builder number 5, value creation focus. Always connect your work to enterprise value impact. Think in terms of exit and valuation multiples. Example reporting, which I discussed previously in the previous video. Working capital improvements freed up $3 million in cash this quarter. At our target leverage ratio, this enables $12 million in additional acquisition capacity for our growth strategy. Show them you understand how your work creates value. Trust builder number 6, professional network leverage. Use your relationships to benefit the partnership. For example, industry contacts who provide competitive intelligence, auditor input and auditor relationships that streamline due diligence, banker relationships and banker connections that might improve financing terms, vendor relationships that drive cost savings. These are important elements that you need to get into your locus of operations, and it builds trust because PE firms know you have the network. Number 7, learning agility. Demonstrate that you incorporate feedback and improve performance. Example follow-up. Based on your feedback last quarter about your customer concentration risk, about our customer concentration risk, I've implemented the following monthly monitoring of the top 10 customer health scores and developed contingency plans for our largest accounts. That is a very positive signal, isn't it? You're acting upon their feedback in a timely manner. Trust builder number 8, stakeholder management. Show you can manage relationships beyond just PE partners. Key stakeholders that you're managing, remember, they are the auditors and they have timing requirements. There are bankers and they have covenant compliance. You have customers and you have MSAs and SOWs and contracts and payment terms, receiving terms. You have vendors and you have those supply chain relationships. So you keep that all in context. Trust builder number 9, crisis leadership. How do you handle unexpected challenges and how you handle it defines your credibility, by the way. You know, there was a COVID-19, you remember that. I've stress tested out cash flows under multiple scenarios during that time. You know, mild impact, moderate impact, and severe impact. And here are the specific actions that we'll take at each threshold. So what this really tells the PE folks are that you are a notch over. You're looking at trends. You're looking at the direction where things are going. Documentation becomes important, and that would be 9. Documentation becomes very important. Documenting the best practices, documenting the conversations, documenting the dialogues, documenting the progress that you're making against the commitments that you're making to the PE firms, documenting the outstanding issues, documenting the shocks and help or assistance to the exit multiple. And what are the common trust killers? And there are some. You sandbag? That's not good. Setting low expectations to succeed them easily doesn't, these are seasoned operators, my friend. They're revealing problems that should have been visible early on. Blame shifting, over-promising, committing to unrealistic timelines or outcomes, those impact that relationship. So here's what I would say how you want to build the relationship over time. The trust-building timeline is based on delivery and transparency. The first 90 days, establish a reliability in basic reporting and communication. The following 6 months, demonstrate analytical insights and business judgment. In year 1, become a trusted advisor sitting next to them, not across them, for strategic decisions. Measuring your trust levels, One high trust indicator, the PE partners come to you and say, hey, give me input about our portfolio decision. You get invited to some of their strategic planning sessions. They refer you to other portfolio companies. You receive autonomy on operational decisions. And you know what the low trust indicators are? They will micromanage you. Your reporting requirements will increase. There'll be frequent unscheduled check-ins. They will second guess some of the routine decisions that you're taking. They might even exclude you from certain strategic discussions. Okay? So when trust is damaged, recovery is very difficult. So the way I would approach it is that acknowledge if there's a problem, that there's a specific failure, analyze the root cause honestly, implement systematic improvements, and demonstrate improved performance consistently. With those 4, then what you're doing is you're rebuilding slowly through small wins. I'll give you an example. I take full responsibility for missing the Q2 forecast. I've analyzed the failure points, and that is on account of inadequate pipeline visibility that I should have pushed, overly optimistic assumptions, and poor variance tracking. So now what I've done is I've implemented these new forecasting processes, and I will provide weekly updates. And let's go ahead and rebuild confidence in the forecast platform. So in conclusion, my take on this is that PE firms trust us to operate with high level of transparency. Trust with PE firms is earned through consistency, transparency, reliable delivery, and value-focused communication. It is built in small increments through daily interactions and professional behavior. Remember, PE firms are betting hundreds of millions on management teams. They need to trust that you will protect and grow their investment. If you demonstrate that you're worthy of that trust through your actions, not just your words, you will go a long way. Once you earn their trust, you will find PE ownership becomes a very powerful accelerator for you and for your career as well as for the company. The CFOs who master these relationships often become the most successful. In fact, they become the most successful executives in the portfolio and outside of the portfolio. There is much to learn from the PE folks, and I love working for them. So a series summary, video 1, we talked about understanding what PE firms value in terms of business metrics and value creation. In video 2, we talked about learning how to work effectively with PE firms through proper communication and collaboration. In video 3, we identified the traits that make CFOs extremely invaluable to PE firms. And in video 4, the last of the 4 videos, we talked about building lasting trust and credibility through consistent professional behavior. So each video provides actionable insights for CFOs working with or seeking to work with private equity firms. If you are working with a private equity firm, you're very lucky. You will learn a lot about business operations. So I wish you the very best of luck, and I'll see you in the next videos next week. Take care. Bye-bye.